everyone, today we're talking about student action on Canadian Water Attitudes competition for this school year, and we're talking about whether you have any questions and also how to educate the community. So remember that the competition will allow students to investigate, educate, and report on a water issue in their community. It is open to K-12 students across Canada. The project must take place in Canada. There will be one national grand prize valued at $3,000 for the top school in Canada in the kindergarten to grade 8 category, and one for the top school in Canada in the grade 9 to grade 12 category. Each national grand prize will include a water bottle filling station, a commemorative plaque, and possibly some reusable water bottles and/or water testing kits. A prize package for the top school in Saskatchewan, which is valued at $2,200, that includes a water bottle filling station and a commemorative plaque, is also available. But if the top school in Canada is or are located in Saskatchewan, then the second or the third place school in Saskatchewan will win the prize package valued at $2,200. The competition outline, we're going to talk about a preliminary survey. So in November is when you hopefully have done the preliminary survey. And that survey will have asked various questions to help you determine what might be a good focus. And it must ask where their tap water comes from. So it doesn't matter what project you're doing exactly. It must ask where their tap water comes from. You need to decide on a topic on which to focus. So for example, taking shorter showers, installation of low flow shower heads, not leaving the tap on when brushing your teeth, etc. So that was hopefully done in December. Have you done that? If not, you need to decide on your topic. And now we should be at the point of informing the community. So from January to March, we are working on informing the community. So you are going to create educational material based on your survey results. After your first survey, you will teach your community about your topic and how they can be part of the solution. So if the first survey, for example, showed that everybody was leaving the tap on when they brush their teeth, then you want to educate them about how much water they will save if they turn the tap off when they brush their teeth and why it's important to do that. The follow-up survey, which hopefully will happen around early April, will be following up with the same questions after you have informed your sample group to see the difference you have made. And remember that that survey must also ask where their tap water comes from. So regardless of the project, you want to educate them on where their tap water comes from. And that needs to be asked on the preliminary survey and the follow-up survey, because there are on average only about 50% of adults in Canada who know where their tap water comes from. And also there are some schools, some elementary schools, for example, in Saskatoon, where less than 5% of the kindergarten to grade 8 students know where their tap water comes from. The report is tentatively for the end of April. The tentative due date is April 28th, 2023. So if people say that they need a little bit more time, then we will consider pushing the deadline. Your class will create a report that presents what you have learned about your topic and what you did to change people's attitudes and behaviors. The report will be submitted and reviewed by a panel of judges as well as SCWF staff members. Based on the report, the judges will determine the winners of the grand prize. So I'll just pause here and ask if there are any questions. I don't see any questions, so we will continue on. If you have any questions, you can also contact us by phoning 1-306-934-0389 or emailing info@safewater.org. That's info@safewater.org. And that information will be at the end as well. So the preliminary survey should have hopefully already been conducted. So if you have any questions about your preliminary survey, if you haven't quite done it yet, or if you have some questions about interpreting or calculating the results, let me know. A reminder that all preliminary surveys must ask the question, what is the source of your tap water? Picking a topic. So have you chosen a topic? Do you have any questions about choosing a topic or about your topic? So your preliminary survey might indicate where people are wasting water and what you should focus on to make the biggest impact. Again, if there's any questions, let me know or contact me. Here are some pictures from previous competitions of students educating the community. This was a class in British Columbia that had people install toilet tank bags into their toilet tanks because it takes up some of the volume, so then it takes less water to flush the toilet. So if you have a standard, like not water conserving toilet, then it's often a good idea to use something like a toilet tank bag, or even just put a 2-liter bottle filled with water in your tank. So what does your data say? So after completing your preliminary survey, you should develop a plan that's best suited to your baseline data. So if most of your community does not know where their water comes from, you could focus efforts on that, as well as your project focus to maximize the positive change in this criterion. Since you're trying to create a quantifiable positive change, inform your audience about the actions that can create that change. For example, the amount of water that would be saved by limiting use of certain appliances, or how much water can be saved by turning the tap off when you brush your teeth, or every minute you cut from your shower time. Be sure that everyone you educate fills out your survey. Establishing your baseline data is important before educating your community because you cannot go back and do it afterwards. Keep track of everyone who takes the survey. Get names or emails so that you can be sure that they will complete your follow-up survey as well. Remember that the same people need to take the preliminary survey, need to be educated, and need to take the follow-up survey. Ways to get your message out. So there are many different ways to reach out to your audience in a fun and informative way, such as poster sessions, presentation, mailouts, videos, skits, making a website or adding information to your school's website. You might want to ask your school if you can do that. Understand your audience to come up with a strategy that will be the most interesting to them. So if they're mostly students at your same school, like from other classes, then things at the school would probably be most effective. So having posters at the school, presenting at an assembly, things like that. Or if it's students at the school that's, down the street from yours, maybe you could get permission to present at the assembly and put up posters. If it's mostly parents, then you might want to send emails. You might want to remind your parents at the supper table. You might want to invite them for a presentation. So how will you be able to get the general community involved? We do not want you to just, go talk to strangers. But as you saw in that picture of the British Columbia students and the toilet tank bags, there were several of the students there, and there were teachers there, and it was a public place. I believe it was a co-op grocery store. So is there a way that you can also inform the general public, even if maybe it might be a little bit trickier to get them to do the follow-up survey? So you might need to collect their email addresses, for example. But is there a way that you can educate more people, have more people involved, and show more results because you've educated more people? So a PowerPoint presentation or some kind of performance educating on your issue would be a formal presentation. And this is students who participated in a Saskatoon water competition. Specific information is delivered. Time commitment is rigid, and there's a rigid schedule. People can ask questions after the presentation, like you can. You can have a poster session that is kind of like a science fair. You might not have heard of poster sessions before. They're often done in post-secondary, but they would be kind of like a science fair, but more so just the backdrop. and information, and it could be a come and go event where you can interact with your audience individually. You can have a number of posters that are attractive and informative. People can have a look at all of the posters and ask questions to help understand the issue. And it's not a big time commitment for your audience because they can drop in, look around, and they can leave when they wish to. And make snacks available because that always draws a crowd. So coffee, tea, cookies, things like that. You can also make an informational video. You can make an entertaining and educational video to show your issue. You can show how actions can be taken to remedy the issue. And then the video could be shown at an assembly. It could be shown to friends and family. The link could be emailed to people, could be put up on YouTube or something. You could get permission from your school to put it up on the school's website, or you could have a separate website for this. So here are some ways to get your message out. So handing out brochures or other informational materials so people can take them home from school so they can involve their family and educate their family. You can hang posters around the school and the community. It's a less direct form of communication. It might be harder for your audience to ask questions, and it could be easily ignored or people forget they have it or lose it is the downsides of that. If you hold an event, remember that you need to make sure that participants fill out your preliminary survey before they hear your information, and you will need their contact information to follow up to give them the follow-up survey. So this will contribute to your baseline data and increase your sample group. So it's good to get the public involved in safe ways, but make sure that they fill out the preliminary survey and that you have their information so you can follow up and have them complete the follow-up survey. Keep track of who takes your survey. So grand prizes, one national grand prize valued at $3,000 for the top school in Canada in the kindergarten to grade 8 category, one national grand prize also valued at $3,000 for the top school in Canada in the grade 9 to grade 12 category. Traditionally, the grand prize includes a water bottle filling station, a commemorative plaque, and possibly some reusable water bottles and our water testing kits. But we've had widely different results with the winning schools in terms of how much it costs for them to install a water bottle filling station. So we had one school in Saskatoon where they fundraised a little bit more money themselves, like less than $1,000. And then they were able to have 3 water bottle filling stations installed. On the other hand, there was a school in Mississauga that could not have a water bottle filling station installed for anywhere close to $3,000. So they focused on getting the reusable water bottles and the water testing kits, so they got more of those. So if you are the winning school, we will discuss with you what is most applicable and possible for your school. Maybe you already have a lot of water bottle filling stations. Maybe you really want to also donate a few water testing kits to other schools. There's lots of different ways that we can go about that prize. So a prize package for the top school in Saskatchewan valued at $2,200. That includes a water bottle filling station and a commemorative plaque. So if that's possible, like I say, it depends on the school and whether they need one and how much it would cost and all that. And if the top school in Canada is or are located in Saskatchewan, then that doesn't mean that they win both prizes. And it doesn't mean that they win the Saskatchewan prize, even though they're entitled to the top prize. Then in that case, the second or the third place school in Saskatchewan will win the prize package that's valued at $2,200. Are there any questions before we wrap up here? So remember to contact me if you have any questions. My phone number is 1-306-934-0389. That's 1-306-934-0389. And my email address is info@safewater.org, info@safewater.org. Thank you for joining today and for taking part in the competition to raise awareness about water issues. Thank you to Weston Family Foundation and RBC for their funding to make this possible. And thank you to all the students who are being involved in action projects and all of the teachers who are helping them with their projects. Our next webinar will be in February. It will be another one where you just have an opportunity to ask questions, get answers, discuss projects, because the next step is the follow-up surveys, but that isn't probably until about April. Only the teachers who have registered to compete in the 2022-2023 Student Action on Canadian Water Attitudes competition will be invited to the webinar. So if you know other teachers who are interested, have them sign up. Recordings of the webinars will be available in case there's a day you are unable to attend. Any information you need will also be on our website. Attending webinars also allows you to chat with us about any immediate questions you have, or if there's anything you are unsure about. You can also bounce around ideas with us and other schools. If you have any questions, need help, or would like the opportunity to chat about your project, please feel free to contact me. I'm actually a high school math teacher, so I love the data and the data analysis and the calculations. So if you need any help with the math for your project, I'm all ears and I'm all here to help you. This is just our information with our phone number if you need to contact me, and our email address and our website. And I'm just going to go to our website and show you how exactly to go to the section that is about the student action competition. So you hover over educational programs and then you click on 2022-2023 Student Action Canadian Water Attitudes Competition. It has the information about the competition, including the steps to do a project. And there's still the registration form if anybody still wants to register. It's not too late to sign up. And there's the recordings. So this recording will be here soon. There are recordings from previous ones if you're super eager and you are ahead and you want to watch the webinar about follow-up surveys or the webinar about final reports already. There is what you will need in terms of information for the final report, the form through which you will submit your final report. If you have a video or any pictures, then you will also email those to us. Up to 12 photos and one video that is 5 minutes in length or shorter. And we have a couple of judges already, and we are looking for more volunteer judges. So if you know of anybody who would be a great volunteer judge, please let us know. There are lots of resources, so the PowerPoints, water usage calculators, other resources, water conservation information, amounts of water that's usually used by different appliances, judging information. So Safe Drinking Water Foundation staff mark the objective criteria. This is because it's objective, so it's, easy to mark and there are no opinions that play into it. Subjective criteria is marked by volunteers so that they don't know the teachers or the students and they're, independent third parties. As always, please do let me know if you need any help or have any questions at any time, and have a great day.